Hello on the planet and beyond. It's Sade of Between Here and There, environmental consultant for global hygiene and applications of information technology. We define global hygiene as the cleanliness and the health of the planet, with our main focus being water purity. Okay, there's a lot of things that I would love to change on the planet. However, it's going to start with one step at a time, and I'm seeing that because I can load my plate up and just like, yeah, I can do all this stuff. However, there's many intricacies when it comes to the development of a very good product, and so therefore the main one that I focus and draw in is on water because of how integral it is to our survival, the planet's survival, everything surrounding it. Okay, so it's not just us consuming water, it's everything surrounding it. And so that's where it comes the water footprint or the water tax. And you have a green tax, and that's more of like agriculture, anything that's crossing the planet going through the soil. And then you have a gray water tax, and that gray water tax is waters that are contaminated. I mean, we use waters to flush our toilets. Pharmaceuticals are released in those waterways. Some of those gray water systems go back into the main body of the clean water, which I'll never understand. I mean, let's think about how we are creating these products, each and every one of us. No matter if you have a clothing line, selling wigs, you're selling shirts, shoes, whatever, all of those things have a water tax to them. And so it's best on us as creators to understand what the consumer is actually consuming. Okay, so let's get into what are some of the components when it comes to cleaning and remediating our water. Okay, so we have microorganisms that can be in the water. So one of them is chloroform, which is in feces, and so that contaminates the water, can get people sick. Dysentery, which is going to cause a very destructive digestive system, and your digestive system is going to want to remove it. So there's going to be vomiting, there's going to be excrement that's like high levels of diarrhea, etc., to adjust to that type of poison. I mean, at that point, it's a poison to the body, and the body wants to remove it. Okay, and so also inorganic. I have some notes here. It's a lot of information, so just follow with me. Inorganic. So some of those heavy metals like lead, arsenic, mercury, cadmium, those metal materials get into our waterways. So just think about, excuse me, any sort of factory, construction outside, etc. Those particles get into our waterways. It rains, things wash down, get into the waterways, get into the system. Water is going to collect at its like lowest gravity point. The path of least resistance is where water usually flows, and so the collection of that water is going to concentrate the amount of those materials in that water. You also have organic, okay? So that's pesticides and herbicides. So when you're treating plants and things like that, you need to be thinking about what you're using. Yeah, Roundup sounds great, but it wasn't until people actually were getting sick that they thought about, oh wow, this is poisoning our water, it's killing animals, it's causing them to have sexual, mental, and just these diabolical responses to these chemicals. Yes, everything starts out in a pure form. However, even in its most pure state, there's a lot of elements that are just highly toxic, radioactive. Um, they have destructive patterns, they're reactive, and those things need to be under careful watch and consideration when it comes to any sort of product building. Currently, we have what is PFAS, polyfluoroalkyl substances, with an S, because there's a whole entire family of them. There's over like 6,000, I believe at this point they've identified that are considered forever chemicals, because carbon and fluorine were bonded together. Fluorine is highly electronegative, and so therefore it's very reactive. It was used as, okay, firefighting foam. We're going to be able to put out fires, or non-stick pans. Now we can slide our eggs around really smooth. However, if we think about some of the things we did in the past, it was for a reason, because the people of that time had the planet in mind and thought about the longevity of themselves and the planet. We're not doing that. We're just creating things now at this point. Okay? And so we're never going to be able to go back in the past. However, moving towards the future, we need to be making better plans to be better to the planet. Okay, so organic, also pharmaceuticals and personal care items. You know, I have a lot of personal care items myself. However, for the most part, I look for things like even my vitamin bottle. This is amber glass. The top is a plastic, and that's why I'm formulating a process in which we can incinerate some of these materials and start to cycle them out. And that incineration process is also going to come with encapsulating the release of these gases, because once you release these volatile gases in the atmosphere, you're having a whole nother issue with people having respiratory problems, digestive problems, as well as destroying the ozone, which is protecting us from direct sun rays. Direct sun rays, melanoma, cancer, sunburn. It's beyond, as the years have gone up, the increase of the SPF number, it's skyrocketed because of what we're doing to the atmosphere. Disinfectant products, a lot of chlorine, a lot of other highly toxic chemicals to give you that smell, to give you that clean that you're looking for. However, there were natural products that we used before. White vinegar, a form of bleach, at certain percentages is still okay. A lot of acidic items were used to clean different areas of your home, of a facility, etc. And we've gotten so far away from that because we're doing a lot of fast movement solution. Like, oh yeah, let's just mix this up real quick. And we're not going to think about what's going to happen in the future of our planet, of our waters, of our people. Okay? And then you have things like radon and uranium. So highly reactive nuclear energies that are now being released into our waterways. So there's like a not Bart Simpson, but Simpson episode, and I believe it might have been a couple of those, because he works in a nuclear plant, and every nuclear plant is close by a body of water because they use a lot of water to cool the reactors. They're not using salt water. There are some nuclear reactors that sit on the coast of a salt water body, which is great. I'm not sure if they're using it because salt does collect a crystalline formation when a lot of that salt has set for a while. And so I could see people being away from that as a cooling solution. However, it's a better option because we have more salt water, as well as the salts can be, they calcify, they clump, but you can remove them after some time. Just doing a process of cleaning those systems, it could still run as a cooling function for nuclear energy. And also physical properties such as pH and turbidity. So pH of water is supposed to sit at neutral, and that's why again it's so important. It regulates the body temperature of humans, of the planet, of animals, of plants, etc. And so that pH needs to be within a specific range to do its function. Otherwise, it becomes a bit destructive, okay? Even high alkaline water can become destructive after a while because your body still needs to sit at a specific range. And so if you go too far into one range for too long, it can wreak other issues. So we always want to be at homeostasis, which is a balance, and that's how our planet operates as well. When things aren't going correctly, you're going to have issues, and that's where all this rise in natural disasters has come from, because we have done things to put the planet out of balance. Turbidity. Turbidity is like the clean and clearness of the water. Also, a bit of like the dissolved solids, the salts, and basically how the water would taste. Is it like pristine? Is it clear? Is it fresh? Those are the things that we need to be thinking about, as well as the hardiness, which is calcium, magnesium, ions, okay? And so, some places have more hard water because there's a lot of calcium and magnesium in those waterways. And so the water you don't get that clean feeling. It's a film of those minerals left. Okay? So hopefully you got something from that. And this will also give you an idea when they're doing like well testing. Overall, your city is supposed to, do the testing on the water since you're paying for that service. And I get, I've also been frustrated in life. Like, why am I paying for water when God gives us water for free? You're paying for the treatment of the water because it goes through a process. It's collected, it's sanitized, it's filtered, etc. And so that's what you're paying for, the amount of water that has been processed through a system that your wastewater treatment facility is running. So my name is Sade. I hope you got something from this video. It's quite a bit going on. Hopefully my energy is, you get me, okay? It's like the side of, wanting to be live and vibrant. At the same time, it's a frustration because it's like, hey, we're all on this planet together, so we need to be treating it better. The things that happen over here affect the other side of the planet. It's an entire sentient being. It's alive. It's alive, people, okay? As much as, some people wanted to look away and just feel like, oh, it was a big bang and it just happened. Well, the Creator, the Most High God, designed this planet. Put it in balance. Separated the waters from above from the waters below. Created a firmament around the planet and a protective shield so we can live fruitful lives in this heaven on earth. However, there's entities, there's companies, there's individuals that are making it a toxic waste dump. So we need to get ahead of it, okay? Now, if you want to donate to the channel, please do. Check out Between HT LLC for Between Here and There. That you can donate there at any amount. There's a pop-up that'll come up. There's also a different tier level where you can donate as well. And the tier is just for me to track exactly how much. So that way when the company is positioned to give back, we want to give back to those that have supported the mission. It's about all of us. And so when it comes to that financial piece, it's needed to propel a system forward. I've put in what I can into the business and I will continue to do so. However, it's going to take more than what I do, what I create, etc. It's going to take more people. It's going to take more resources. It's going to take more time. Okay. And if you want to donate to me directly, you can go to Cash App Science Tings, Tings, so just without the H. I was getting like a little Caribbean. And so those funds support me being able to maneuver and travel. I go to a lot of events. I'm always collecting information, always trying to do research, put solutions together when it comes to how we handle our waste, how we clean our waterways, how we remediate. So I ask that you, wherever you can, if you can drop some nuggets that support this mission so we can get it off the ground and we can live a cleaner, fresher world, have more clean air, fruitful planet, and how it's supposed to be as stewards of the planet, how the creator made it, in the beginning. So thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you got something out of this. Let me know your views on it, because as I see other videos, it just seems like people kind of like focus in on one thing and then just make a video and that's it. And I just noticed like a lot of my videos are like, it has a lot of information in it, and I'm trying to structure it in a way that people can grasp the information and be able to use it for their best situation. So in this case, it would be if you're getting your water tested, what would be tested, and to start to dig into what are the quantities of each individual thing that is considered safe. Okay. However, no concentrations over time can make something that was once deemed okay become unsafe. Okay, so I appreciate your time. Thank you. Check out the website. I'm updating it so I can narrow it down to just the water purity project, because there's so many things I want to do on this planet. However, it's work. God has given me the strength to do it. However, for best success at the moment will be to narrow it down to something I can focus and hone in on. So thank you all so very much for your time. I appreciate it. And yeah, talk to you later.